in the time since. When we talk about what's wrong with the internet, we have to talk about what's wrong with the world. What has been constructed is a system that is fundamentally unfair. What do I mean by that? Look at economy. There is an increasing concentration of resources into fewer and fewer hands in every demographic, every chart you look at, every measurement. That leads us into politics, because economy is what provides influence in politics. I think in many of the world's most important countries, whether we're talking about the developing world or developed democracies, as we like to term them, the result is really the same. Voting choices are engineered so that regardless of the outcome, nothing will fundamentally change. Okay, a popular quote. And then that's really the problem, isn't it? What we need, what even children in Sweden recognize today, is fundamental change. And this brings us to culture. It brings us to media, discourse, expression, community. This is the broadest of the subjects that we sort of contend with here, but it's also the easiest to evaluate in short by simply gesturing broadly to it and saying, when you look at what's being discussed, when you look at how it's being discussed, who is discussing it, and the impact that it has, the results that it's producing, the impact that it's having on our lives, are you encouraged by what you see? And you notice that none of the things that I mentioned are technical, despite many, many, many problems in the technical domain, like that little mass surveillance issue that you may have heard about. This is to say that the internet is broken because it reflects a broken society. Unfair systems produce as a byproduct dissatisfaction. And therefore, they're typically hard to maintain by historic standards, right? You can maintain over a generation. When you start getting multi-generational, they start to lose their authority. They start to lose their legitimacy. They face insurgent challenges, right? And eventually they're unseated. As our economy, politics, and even culture have sought in the modern moment to reduce access to an equal role in our common franchise, right? Resentment and grievance have blossomed to the point that now every discussion has become an instrument of war by other means, right?